Hey guys, so I decided to make this little video. I just got done watching The Sons of Sam Sent into Darkness. I think that's what the subtitle was, but it's essentially a documentary that looked at the possibility of David Berkowitz, who's known for being the son of Sam, whether or not he was actually the only person involved in the killings that he was charged with. The guy who the documentary, it's on Netflix if you want to go check it out, but it looks specifically at whether or not, well, the documentary, it doesn't focus so much on David Berkowitz. It focuses on this investigative reporter. His name was Murray. I think that's how you say the name anyway. Murray Terry. It looks at his, I'd say, obsession with trying to figure out what actually happened that night. He kind of goes into the possibility that David Berkowitz was not the only person at the killings. He starts out by focusing on the letters that the son of Sam left, and it kind of goes, it has a lot of mention of or connections to like the occult, and so the Terry would go and look at the letters and kind of try to find connections to other possibilities of other connections. In particular, there was these two men. They were the Carr brothers. They were actually neighbors of Berkowitz, and the brothers were part of the Process Church, and it was like an offshoot of Scientology, and there was questions as to whether the Process Church was involved in satanic rituals and all that. I believe it was like people who actually went to the church. They talked about how some people talked about how they went and did these rituals where there were animal sacrifices and all that, and so he kind of links that back to David Berkowitz and the possibility that the killings that he committed, or this group committed, were actually like part of satanic ritual and all that. It goes into really a lot of I won't say conspiracy theories, just theories about whether or not David Berkowitz was solely responsible for the killings. And yeah, I don't actually know much about Son of Sam killing. I just know the very basics. Obviously, David Berkowitz, caught because he had the gun that the killer used. He had the letter. The Son of Sam letter was one of the Son of Sam letter was in his car. They were able to find this because he had this parking ticket. It's just just the very basics of the Son of Sam killer. So I knew nothing about anything else related to this case, but I did find it interesting. The writer, or the investigative reporter, he actually has a book. It's called The Ultimate Evil, and of course I put that out at the library to go and read it. But it is kind of obvious that he kind of looks at this investigative reporter, and he's like very obsessed with this case, and it pretty much consumes his entire life. It kind of destroys his marriage. It causes him to become alcoholic, and he tries to get the police department to investigate it, to investigate this possibility, but they refused. You know, there's question as to whether or not the police department actually did a thorough investigation, or whether or not they just wanted to sweep this under the rug. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, because, you know, they don't want the panic that happened when the Son of Sam killer was active. It was a shitstorm. Let's just put it that way. So I don't doubt that they would probably try to you know, ignore anything that could possibly bring that up again and cause that panic again. It does have some people who do believe that there was something more to it, that more people were involved in the killings. Not necessarily to the extent of, obviously, the Terry. He kind of, at the end, he kind of, there's these 4 episodes, and so the last episode, it's called Rabbit Hole, and so it kind of goes down the rabbit hole, if you will, because he goes from actual physical or actual evidence linking David Berkowitz and people that he had connection with to these cults. He goes from there to thinking that these other killings were caused because there were these other killings that could have possibly been linked to this to David Berkowitz and this cult. But he kind of starts saying that this cult was making snuff films, and that they killed these people because they were making snuff films and they didn't want them to find out. And then it goes into pornography, and it just kind of went off the rails a little bit. And I do think it obviously kind of brings into question the investigative reporter's credibility, because once you start going down that road, it started make people question, well, what about these other theories? If he's is he really just crazy or what? But overall, it was a good documentary. I thought it was interesting. It gave me something else to go read, learn a little bit more. Yeah, we kind of got a sense of the kind of the investigative reporter, and kind of makes you wary or more cautious about reading his book, because it was very obvious he truly believed everything he said. And so going to read his book, kind of had to take it with a grain of salt, keep an open mind, possibility that maybe he's going a little bit too far, but yeah, so if you like serial killers and true crime and stuff like that, you could probably go watch it. It's called The Sons of Sam: Descent into Darkness. But yeah, I love serial killers. I love reading about serial killers, and so it was one of the ones that interested me. There's another one, Night Stalker, also on Netflix, that I'm probably gonna go check out, because can't remember his name, but I know of his crimes, I guess. So yeah, if you watched the documentary, just give me your thoughts on it down below. I thought it was interesting. I won't say I believed everything, but it does kind of raise questions about some of the things that happened, and it makes you curious to go read more into it. Yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to get notifications for all the videos I'll be doing, and you guys have a nice day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.